Telling your story through accomplishment statements on your resume allows the reader to learn about your experience and impact in the various roles and positions you've taken on. An accomplishment statement helps create curiosity for the reader by using active language to keep your audience engaged. Start each accomplishment statement with an action verb, followed by a description of what you did, how you did it, and the impact or result of your work. Be clear, concise, and result-oriented in your statement. Avoid starting your bullet points with terms such as task included or responsible for. These are passive and do not illustrate the way that you approach the task. Instead, think of action verbs that provide a specific description of your contributions, such as managed and edited. Need help thinking of a strong verb? Check our resume guide for examples of action verbs. Think about an experience. Identify which tasks would be best to include based on your skills you want to portray. The task helps to provide context and provide basic information about the work you completed. Now let's work on the result or impact. In other words, the so what. It is important that the context you provide builds your story and tells the reader the importance of the experience. Don't just share what you did and the requirements of the role. Include who was involved, your impact, and why it was important. Writing about your impact can include a specific achievement, such as a completed report, a presentation to chapter leaders, or the implementation of a new strategy. Quantify the result when possible. For example, in cases where you managed a budget, supervised a team, or published a number of written pieces. For some experiences, the primary result may simply be what you learned or observed. This is typical of a shadowing experience or attending a conference or training. Once you put this together, ask yourself, does this statement create interest, have energy, and accurately reflect my experience? There are other important concepts to keep in mind when you're constructing your accomplishment statements. Verbs should be in the past tense if the experience or task is complete, or present tense if it is still occurring. Avoid using personal pronouns such as I or we in your bullet points. Instead, start immediately with the verb. If you're developing your resume for an application, use keywords from the job description to best align your language and accomplishments. It is very important to think strategically about the way that you describe your experiences to write effective accomplishment statements. Using transferable skills are the best way to demonstrate skills that apply to many occupations. Need help identifying your transferable skills? Meet with a career advisor during drop-in advising. Consider these. Collaboration. Partnered with 3 local entrepreneurs to develop scalable business models and expansion processes. Organization. Scheduled and coordinated 80 meetings with Congress members for campaign teams as part of National Lobby Day. Leadership. Serve as principal student liaison between Duke administration and 135 members. Use the resume guide or meet with a career advisor to help identify what you want to feature on your resume. Let's put it all together and practice building a strong accomplishment statement. Here's our beginning statement. Right now, this statement has an active verb and a vague result, which doesn't meet the other criteria of expressing the importance of your impact on the result. Let's add in those components. This statement meets all of the criteria. It is concise, uses active language, and is result-oriented. It was also possible to quantify some of this information to increase impact. It's also possible to keep working on this statement to emphasize different transferable skills based on the audience, such as researched, identified, and reached out to prospective high-profile speakers to participate in a professional development series, and secured 10 speakers throughout the year. This emphasizes research, persuasion, and communication. Collaborated with Leadership Committee to organize a 10-session professional development series featuring renowned speakers. This version emphasizes teamwork and collaboration. Each of these examples shows the same idea from a different lens. By using the language of your industry or field, as well as strategically highlighting skills, will help you to create consistent and powerful messaging within your accomplishment statements. When you're getting ready to apply to a specific position, it's important to take another look at your accomplishment statements. Consider your audience and how your experience best aligns with the opportunity. Watch the Tailoring Your Resume video to learn how to ace this skill. Now it's your turn. Practice writing your own accomplishment statements on your resume. Pick one experience to get started with. Need to review a few more samples? Take a look at the example accomplishment statements on our resume guide.